Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Now, one other issue that I've noticed is that most people have challenges with punctuations. Where to put a comma, where to put a full stop, where to put a semicolon, where to put a column. What do you think is the best way for them to wriggle out of this that challenge?
Yeah, it is the same thing. It was for me the same challenge. I never knew where to put a comma or a full stop. I thought it was too technical. I was always afraid of that. How do you... And now, anytime you start to discuss a noun clause, verbal clause, I will switch off. I didn't want to hear such a terminology. And now you say it is a prepositional phrase or adjectival this, or it is the connotative meaning. And I don't like terminology. I get scared of other. But what happened when I began to read, when I began to see certain words used and other, I began to use the dictionary. I saw that it became very easy for me to know all the parts of speech. The first one I learned so well was adjective. Anywhere I see he is very strong or he's a strong man, I was always, somehow strong, it sticks out that strong is qualifying a man. So it is the adjective. Now, that is for the parts speech. But when you are reading words, you see how words end. You see where punctuation are put. For example, there is this argument that we have today. For example, when you say, hello, John, should you put a comma before John or should you leave it? Because the rule says that anytime you address somebody, you need to back up that person's name. What you are saying from that person's name. If I say, I want to tell you, John, that I will come tomorrow, you will say, I want to tell you, John, that I will come tomorrow. Because John is not part of, you can remove that John there and say, I want to tell you that I'm coming tomorrow or that I will come tomorrow. So when you see this used in different books, different expressions, different formats, these are things that come to you unconsciously. Gradually they will become, you will not know. Now you also need to look at books. As you are reading the dictionary, you also need to look at English textbooks. There are so many uses of English. Now the good thing about it is that it is online. Everywhere you check online, you will see very good sources of how to use the comma. Where do you use the comma? It will show you all the instances where you should use it. When it comes to language, I am a purist. I believe that even though hello John is very short, yet because of the rule that every word you say, you need to mark off that expression from the person you are addressing. I will say hello, I will put comma John. Some people will say, oh, you are doing oversabi or over syllables. That is the way I am. I didn't just, I'm not just doing English because of that. I also studied it in the university, did my first degree in it, did my second degree in it, did my PhD in it. And even if I had done engineering, the love I have for the written word would have made me to stick to these minute issues.
Okay.
For me, nothing is too little to overlook when you are pursuing excellence.
Now, we have quite a number of people who can write well. Now, some of them are having the challenge of writing interesting stories. As a writer, how does one come up with interesting stories or interesting topics, to treat or to treat? Okay,
just like I said, the more you read, the more you widen your scope, the more experiences you see across the world. Sometimes you will read a story, you don't like the way the story has ended. You don't like the way the author, how he or she, the narrative or the way it was concluded. Let me use that. Now, or there is a scene within that story, just an issue, not the main thing. For example, somebody can decide that he's not happy with the way Chinua Achebe treated Onwuka in Things Fall Apart. Everything about Onwuka is about a lazy man. You can use Onwuka to write it might not be Onwuka, it might be somebody else. You might use another name. But my argument about it is that Onwuka lived in the wrong era. Onwuka is an artist. It's like us. If you were to be in this age, some of us will be called lazy, because we are not as strong as Okonkwo, or we don't like the side of blood. One of the reasons I didn't want to study medicine was that I don't like to see blood like Onwuka. I don't like it. Somebody showed me an injury he had yesterday. Immediately I saw it, I looked away. So how can a person like that be cutting people up and sewing them up? So I don't want to see whether it's my own. The day I had an injury on my finger, I have the pictures in my phone. Anytime I go to that place, I will just go, that's my hand. Now, Onwuka was an artist. He was a musician. If Diego Maradona or Pele was born in the days of Okonkwo, they would die poor because nobody will praise them for playing football. Michael Jackson would have died. Michael Jackson would have died a poor man if he lived with Okonkwo. He would have been called a lily-livered man who was useless because he was only dancing. He was so light. Now it will be for people like Mike Tyson and co to live in that era. Now again, look at it. Mike Tyson, a violent man who society turned around, turned that aggression in him into sports, and he became a boxer, though he did not control himself eventually. Now a society should be able to be dynamic, should be able to be multifaceted, so that those who like to fight can survive in it and make money. Those who don't like to fight can survive. Those who like to write. That is why America is the best country in the world. If you are seen as a lazy man, you can go to America and you become the richest because you can use your brain, you can use your fist, you can use your dancing skill, you can use your height. You can be too short and make money. You be too fat, you make money. You are too slim in the US, you come up with something and you make money. So there is nothing in you that should make you disadvantaged. Even if you are physically challenged, if you are in the US, it doesn't stop you from being one of the richest or one of the most popular human beings. Or that is a well-rounded society. The pre-colonial era in Africa was to the disadvantage of those who were not very physically strong, like Onwuka. So somebody can use that, to write a different novel and turn Onwuka into a hero, while Okonkwo will become the bad guy in that place because he was too aggressive. That is how you create. But you can only create when you have read so much and you have something that makes you angry. Sometimes you read a person's story, you are so angry with it, it forces you to write your own. Or something happens in your community, you are so angry with it, it makes you to write a story. That is how you get your topics.